My name is David Boyle. I'm a student at Athabasca University completing a Doctorate of Business Administration. I'm making a short presentation on my poster entitled Measuring and Using the Hofstede Values of Inuit Nunavut Culture. There are many impacts from this research. For example, knowing the Hofstede dimension values for Inuit culture will help the government of Nunavut provide better new employee orientation, culturally relevant human resource management, thus aiding in recruitment of Inuit, a very important goal of the GN, culturally relevant service delivery, and improved intercultural negotiation with other nations. I chose to use the Hofstede model due to its robustness and its popularity around the globe, with 130 national cultures already within the matrix of values. To validate the model, I first looked at the Inuit societal values, Inuit Karyuma Yatukangi principles, and Malagasy laws to predict a priori the values of each of the 6 dimensions for Inuit. I then used the VSM in 2013, a Likert scale type questionnaire, to measure the Hofstede dimension values for both Inuit and Southern Canadian employees within the government of Nunavut. This allowed differences to be calculated so that the Inuit Hofstede values could be anchored within the existing framework of values for the 130 nations. As can be seen from this table, there was a good a priori prediction for the predicted values of Inuit culture when they were compared directly with Southern Canadian culture, with all predictions being in the correct direction, which helps validate the model. When actual ranges were predicted, the results were also pretty good. However, there were 2 discrepancies highlighted in red. One was for individualism. I thought the individualism for Inuit would have been quite a bit lower. In hindsight, this could have been researcher error in interpretation of one of the IQ principles. Also, indulgence seemed to be wrong as well. Not sure why this discrepancy existed. It could again be due to researcher error, or it could be that this dimension is less relevant for Inuit culture. It is difficult to say. I'm now going to go over some example of research impacts from knowing the Hofstede dimension values for Inuit culture. One use of knowing the Hofstede values include insight into negotiation style differences between cultures. This is important for Inuit who are increasingly interacting with other nations, for example due to melting sea ice impacts on Arctic shipping and fisheries. Using Cohen and Jacobs' typology of country clusters, Inuit were found to belong to the connected cluster. Interestingly, this cluster also includes several other Arctic nations. Negotiation with these nations would therefore likely feel familiar. Southern Canada, however, is included in the competitor cluster, so knowledge of potential differences could be useful for Inuit during negotiation. Demirij also developed what she called maps showing impacts of 2 or more of the dimension values on marketing topics. From her maps, for example, Inuit may prefer brand personalities that are innovative and distinctive and respond better to advertising styles that are direct, explicit, even with the use of humor. Insights into marketing is of use to Inuit and Nunavut-based businesses. It is also of use to the government of Nunavut who runs, for example, public education campaigns. Other impacts of knowing the Hofstede dimension values for Inuit include insights into improved supervisor-employee interaction, improved nurse-patient interaction, improved teacher-student interaction, and improved organizational structure. Based on this research, the Hofstede model is likely to also be useful for other First Nations around the globe, including to provide culturally relevant human resource management to increase their members' representation within organizations. This will assist in achieving 2 United Nations goals. Number 8, promote sustained, inclusive, and sustainable economic growth, full and productive employment, and decent work for all. And number 10, to reduce inequality within and among countries. This concludes my presentation. I would like to acknowledge my supervisor, Dr. Alex Condra, my committee members, Laura McKenzie and Dr. Jocelyn Greer, the Government of Nunavut, and the 523 employees who completed the VSM 2013 questionnaire.